What's good, YouTube? It's KB with Just Do Boxing, back with another video. Before I get into the video, I want to say if this is your first time on the channel, do your boy a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell icon, put your notifications on all so you can be notified when I drop new content, as I drop content daily. And I want to give a big shout out to everybody, all the supporters that got your boy to not only 2,000 subs as I asked for, y'all got me to over 3,000 subs. So now we on the road to 4,000 and maybe 5,000 subs. So I just want to say everybody that subscribed to the Just Do platform, I salute y'all, I appreciate y'all. We gonna keep rocking, man. But let me get into this video, man. So we got some interesting news in the sport of boxing, man. As we just seen Frank the Ghost Martin this past weekend. He went up against Jackson Marinez. And, he beat him a 10th round knockout, 10 round fight. He got him out of there in 10. You know what I mean? He dropped him in the 9th and he dropped him again in the 10th and finished him. You know what I'm saying? And moving his record to 16-0, 12 KOs. He's only 27 years old. Picked up this sport of boxing at the age of 18, won a national title and turned pro. So this kid is the good 68-inch reach. He's with Man Down Promotions. He's Errol Spence, one of Errol Spence's fighters, you know what I'm saying? And he got a bright future. He's fighting out of Detroit, Michigan. Well, that's his hometown. Yeah, he's fighting out of Indiana, I believe, right now. So he scored a 10th round stoppage, this past Saturday. And like I said, it was a competitive fight. The fight was more competitive than I thought it was going to be. But nonetheless, Frank Martin, once he made the adjustments and he got his distance, timing, and range down pat, he started to hit Jackson Marinez more often. And one shot that I appreciated that Frank didn't go away from was the left to the body. I believe that helped take some of the air out of Marinez's tires. And, it set him up for the stoppage in the later rounds. And that's exactly what Frank Martin got. A lot of people said he struggled. I disagree. I don't think he struggled. I think he showed you with just 16 fights, he still has some things to work on. And like I said, who with 16 fights don't have things to still work on? You know what I'm saying? And I think a great fight is between him and Chris Primetime Colbert. He's coming off a loss over Hector Garcia back in February 26. Hector Luis Garcia was a late replacement for, Roger Gutierrez. He's 14-0 coming into that fight. Chris Colbert had a lot of confidence. He felt like he was just going to walk through Hector Luis Garcia, and he was in for a rude awakening, and he got dominated in the fight, in a 12-round fight. And, Hector Luis Garcia won by unanimous decision. He dropped Colbert in the 7th round and outboxed him convincingly, and Colbert, knowing he was losing, I just didn't like the approach. He backed off and he moved as if he was up in the fight, and he wasn't. And he just didn't show much of a willingness to engage. He looked very uncomfortable from the first bell. Like, Garcia was all over him, and I think he made things very uncomfortable for Chris Colbert. He made him doubt himself early enough, and then he finally got the knockdown in the 7th. And from there, just you seen a different Chris Colbert. He mentally checked out, and that's just not a good look, but it's only one loss. He might have just had an off night. From what I understand, things I hear is that he had a lot going on in his personal life outside the ring, and we all know how that could affect the fighter's performance on fight night. So salute to Chris Colbert. I ain't bashing him. It was only one loss. I think if he can beat Frank Martin if this fight is the next fight, because they exchange words via social media. First it was EJ and Chris Colbert exchanging words. EJ said, with the GIF emoji, the guy from Menace to Society, he said, you done effed up, right? And Chris Colbert responded, why so, champ? And he said, Spence responded, do you want to fight Frank? And Chris Colbert responded, he's a good fighter, let's make it happen. And Spence replied, bet, I'm gonna have a talk with your people, LOL. And then Chris Colbert, stated, let's go. So, that was like, that's all I needed to see to understand that where they're going and what direction they're going next. So then, I see a post on Chris Colbert's page where he has a picture of him and Frank Martin, alluding that there's next. He said next on the menu. You know what I'm saying? And he got the caption next on the menu. So Frank Martin responded I'm the wrong MF to be on your menu. You know what I'm saying? And Chris Colbert responded, "Let's dance," with a little dancing emoji. Frank Martin said, "I don't dance, I boogie," which I thought was funny with the little shushing emoji. And Chris Colbert said, "Let's go, champ, and congratulations on the victory. I'm next." So that little war of words right there, that was more confirmation that they got all plans on making this fight happen next. There's no date, of course. It's still early. It's just in talks right now. But I believe this is the next fight down the pipe. And if it's not, then I wouldn't mind seeing a Frank Martin versus Rolly Romero, because that's the first name that Earl Spence mentioned. But when he realized that Chris Colbert mentioned Frank Martin's name, then he was all on board for it. And like I said, they exchanged words saying, you know, they're going to make the fight happen. Spence said he's going to reach out to Chris Colbert's team. So I think we're going to get this fight next. And I think it's a great fight. It's a good comeback fight for Chris Colbert. You know, he's 16-1. He has 17 fights. It'll be his 18th fight. It'll be Frank Martin's 17th fight, you know. They both young. Colbert is 2 years younger. You know what I mean? They both the same height. Colbert got a few inches in reach. Nothing too crazy, but they're both good fighters, both skilled. Frank Martin has some very impressive feet. I think some underrated footwork. You know what I mean? He has some things to tighten up on defensively, but I think he does great body work. He does a good job of letting them hands go in combination. Once he smells blood, he's like a solid finisher. So I think this is a good fight for both. It's a good test to see where Frank Martin is at, and also a test to see just where Chris Colbert is at. I know this would be his first fight at 35, but given that he's been off for a while since he fought Hector Garcia back in February 26th of this year, he's been off. So I'm guessing he's gonna come back a little heavier than he was anyway. So him making 35 shouldn't be much of a jump. It shouldn't be much of a problem, you know, because this guy walks around a little heavy anyway. So I don't think the weight would be a problem for him to make. I just want to see this fight. I think it's a dope fight for boxing. And like I said, it's good that the promoter and the fighters are on the same page. And that's what you see a lot. You don't see a lot in boxing. You don't see enough of that. The promoter of the fighter and the fighter being on the same page and on the same accord. And they both sound like they want Chris Colbert next. And like I said, Spence said, you know, you done effed up, right? So you know he got his money on his man Frank Martin, rightfully so. This is like a next rising talent at 135, and I'm just excited to see what he gonna do in this fight. I think this is gonna deliver. You can call this a 50-50 fight. Some might disagree, but just to be fair, on paper, you know, these both some skillful guys. Frank Martin definitely has the power edge. I believe he has the more educated feet, you know, but Chris Colbert definitely could move in there as well. He's not a power puncher. But, you know, he can sit down and put a little umph on his punches when he wants to. You know, he only has the 6 KOs, and with the 16 wins, but he can get your respect, you know, when he wants to. You know what I'm saying? So if he come in there with a clear head, you know what I mean, and fully focused, we should see one of the best fights at 135 between some up and coming, you know, prospects / you know, contenders, I want to say. You know, they still in that prospect stage pretty much. So, you know, may the best man win. And it's just a fight I want to see. We're going to enjoy this, man. Like I said, Chris Colbert got to come back from that last loss, man. He lost on the scorecards convincingly, 118 to 109, all 3 cards. So he lost unanimously. It wasn't even close. I think Frank Martin would be a good measuring stick to see exactly what Chris Colbert is at mentally and physically. You know what I mean? See exactly what he got left in the boxing game. That's my thoughts on it. That's my just do on it. Y'all get in the comment section. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Who y'all got winning? Are y'all excited for this fight? And as always, let me know if I gave Frank the Ghost Martin and primetime Chris Colbert their just do, because that's what I always do over here at Just Do Boxing. To the next one, I'm out. Peace.